Hi everyone, welcome to the video lecture series of Theory of Automata and Formal Languages. In my previous lecture, we have understood how to construct a finite automata from a given regular expression, and we have seen a few examples over that. Okay, so in this lecture, we will be looking into the topic of known as basic identities of regular expression. Okay, few identities you need to remember, and these identities will be used while solving certain regular expressions. Okay, just like laws. Okay, so let us look into the topics. So what are the different identities available? The first one is, see, two important things that you should keep in mind. One is your phi, okay, and the other one is your epsilon. Okay, so the difference you should know it. Sometimes they might ask you what is the difference between the phi and epsilon. So actually I have given a note, right? Phi means nothing. Phi means no input string set. Okay, there is nothing. That means the machine is not even in the start state. Okay, so whereas this epsilon consists of some kind of input string set, but no elements will be there in that particular set. Okay, that means empty. Okay, and the epsilon is nothing but the string of length 0. So it is always important, as we have already discussed in my previous lecture, where we have understood how to create a regular expression from a regular language, where length 0 I have taken as epsilon, correct? And whereas phi is used to denote empty language. Okay, if the language is completely empty, nothing is there, nothing, not even the start state, okay, and entirely empty, so that you have to take as a phi. So this is two expression we are having. Phi plus r, this identity you have to remember. R plus phi will always remember as r, that means r plus 0, like that. Okay, phi into r, definitely if you product with a 0 empty, definitely the answer will be 0, correct? Now if we talk about epsilon, epsilon, if that's why I've told you in my one of my lecture, where I have used epsilon here in terms of regular expression is nothing but 1. It considered as a 1. So r into 1 means what? R. So it's the same concept, same way you can remember. So epsilon to the power star, that means if you talk about 1 to the power something, any number, answer will be what? 1. So that's why epsilon, correct? And if I talk phi, 0 to the power epsilon, okay, something to the power epsilon, okay, sorry, something to the power asterisk, or you can say this one clean closure, it will be always a single term, that is 1. Okay, epsilon. Now this identity you have to remember, okay. Next this is an important one, which you'll be using. I am marking as the ones which are very much important, that will be using in your expressions as well. Okay, one is this one: epsilon plus r star is equals to r star r plus epsilon is equals to always r star. Improving simple definite improving some of the regular expressions, you'll be requiring this kind of identities. This identity is also very important. Sorry, this identity is also important in terms of solving regular expressions, where maximum time you'll be using this concept. A plus b whole to the power star can be written as a star plus b star whole to the power star, or you can write down a star b star whole to the power star, okay, like this. But maximum time you'll be using this particular first expression as well. Then one more identity is there: r star is equals to r star r, okay, just like a commutative property. Then this is also an important one, where you can use pq whole to the power star p, you can write down as p qp whole to the power star. Yeah, okay, so this is also an important one which you'll be using. Okay, now whenever you are solving any kind of regular expression, you have to mention which identity you are using. Don't mention the identity number 6, identity number 7. Okay, there is no some predefined numbering of these identities. You have to write down the which identity you have used, that's it. Okay, now before solving these regular expressions with any kind of identities, you have to know the order of precedence as well. So generally it starts with bracket, always higher precedence, then asterisk, clean closure, then concatenation, and then union operator. Okay, now suppose if I talk about an example like a to the power asterisk dot b plus c, definitely a to the power asterisk will be the first one, as it's having a highest priority, then followed with, then you can use the bracket to solve this, a to the power star dot b. This is the final one that I am showing it, and based on brackets we will be solving this particular part, then we'll be solving this particular part, and then finally we'll be solving this particular part as per the order of precedence. Okay, So this is the introductory session where we have understood the basic identities of regular expression. Okay, and I will be just explaining to you the statement of the next particular topic, which is known as Arden's theorem, because in the next video I will explain you how to solve an Arden's theorem and few more examples on it. Okay, so look into the Arden's theorem statement. Arden's theorem states that so Arden's theorem states that if P and Q are two regular expressions, over any input alphabet, and if P does not contain epsilon, then the following equation in R is given by, suppose I am having an expression like this, R is equals to Q plus RP. Suppose you are solving any kind of regular expression and you came into and you have find that this kind of expression is meeting up. You have R is equals to Q plus RP. Then you can directly give a solution for it. Directly it will be having R is equals to QP star. That means Q plus RP can be equivalent to QP star. So this is what Arden's theorem says. Now if you want to know the proof, actually if you are attempting any kind of university examinations, proof used to come. They used to ask you to prove Arden's theorem. Okay, this is a common question. But if you are attempting for any kind of competitive exams, just you should know the statement. That's it. That means if you are having a unique expression, if you are having an expression like this, R equals to Q plus RP, okay, then it has always a unique solution, R is equals to QP star. Clear? In the expression, you might not have this kind of format, but you have to analyze or you have to visualize that particular expression like this. If R over here, then Q will be one more part plus R and then P. So R and R, it should always match. Okay, so I will let you know an example, then it will be very much clear to you all. Okay, I think it is clear to you all the statement and the basic identities. In the next video I will explain you the how to prove this Arden's theorem. Okay, and we will be looking into two examples how to solve a particular regular expression by using the basic identities. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. I think it is clear to you all the basic identities and basic properties of this regular expression. In the next video we will come with the proof of Arden's theorem and a few examples. Okay, thank you.